This Lil Pump tape is not good. Yep, I know. I said it. You're probably thinking to yourself, Anthony, what? No way! Say it ain't so! I can't believe that this new mixtape of material from Sir Pumperton, the Lilist Pumpernickel, is not good. Yes, at least in my estimation anyway. I regret to inform you that this thing is no good, it's not good, it's bad, it's naughty, did not turn out quality, and it's a severe disappointment even though my expectations were not high. It sucks, it's trash, it's doo-doo, it's poo-poo, it's and I don't know how much you want me to belabor this point, but I guess this is a review, so I will. Yep, Lil Pump is a rapper, came up during that very aggressive, distorted, dumbed down, crazy, drugged out SoundCloud wave from back in the day. If you were following music around the mid-2010s, you remember what I'm talking about. Lil Pump was really one of the biggest names to come out of that wave right out of the gate, and in my opinion, for a good reason. His very direct and catchy singles made him an MVP in the style. About 6 years ago or so now, we had his debut Lil Pump tape, which I enjoyed for its simplicity, both in terms of sound and energy, but also intelligence level. This thing was stupid fun, in my opinion, still is to this day. But you know what? The cult of Lil Pump kind of got the best of him because his reputation for being a bit of a dimwit, I think, reflected poorly on him. And this also played out in the progression of his sound and his music because he didn't really know how to build out artistically from here. We had his Harvard Dropout record that was super mediocre and sounded like a more commercialized version of what he blew up on the scene with a few years prior. That was really a no-go, and despite Pump remaining relatively active as far as releasing new stuff here and there, since that point, yeah, the demand has just dropped further and further and further. So much so, he's essentially reached a desperation point, and he is now dropping a sequel to his only truly relevant project, that is the Lil Pump tape. Now we have Lil Pump 2. And I mean, I could go over this thing in detail and talk about how the only couple of really listenable songs on the entire thing are maybe the Smoke Perp tracks, because him and Perp do get together and I guess recreate a bit of an old school energy, as it were. It kind of calls back to an earlier, simpler time for both of them. But beyond that, this thing just gets silly. We have Ain't With That, which just sounds like a really short, cheap, slapped together novelty dance track with some offbeat flows and a really shitty bar about having bad breath, take a tic-tac, whatever. We have All of a Sudden, which as a title makes no sense. It's all of a sudden. Nobody says all of a sudden. That's not even like slang, that's not a twist, that's not an anything. Nobody says all of a sudden. But really the standout thing about this track is that the beat is like a dollar store ass beat. It's a freaking Dollar Tree ass beat. Apparently CB produced it, and there are numerous tracks on this thing where you'll catch at the front end that watermark CB on the beat. What does CB stand for? Can't produce? But yeah, the production choices on this thing suck, as a lot of CB's rhythms are basic, perk choices are bland, chord progressions are just not interesting at all, and the synth patches themselves are bland as hell. On the following track, featuring NBA Youngboy, Pump is trying to get buttery and smooth singing on this one. It sounds awful. He's singing about how he doesn't mind being all alone and how this person can't have his time, no metronome. There's no hook, which is true to its title. It has no damn hook to it. Pretty much feels like he's trying to do a BFB to Pac-Man type thing where he has this a ranty, fast flow over sort of a cluttered beat and is just trying to say the most outlandish and funny stuff he can come up with in a short period of time, but Lil Pump doesn't really have much in terms of comedic wit about him. But yeah, he's just trying to jump on a Midwest style right now, which I guess makes sense because the song does feature a Michigan rapper, Rio de Young OG, who pretty much smokes Lil Pump handily on his own track. Then, of course, we have the Lil Pump metal song that some of Twitter, at least, has been all up in arms about, and I can see why. It's shitty. The screams on it suck, the drums on it suck, the riffs on it suck, the production sucks, everything about it sucks. Some of the lyrics even kind of confuse me, where he's talking about having slit all his wrists. Like all of them? How many do you have? There's also one point on the track where he says, she's selling pussy on Amazon, whoa. I fuck your bitch with her tampon on? Like, okay, do you know like tampons work? It's not like an article of clothing. And furthermore, I can't imagine doing it with a tampon on would feel great. So I mean, you know, that's on you, dude. There's another track where he's kind of going, you know, pump and B once more, getting smooth, getting melodic. Ty Dolla $ign is on the track. I hope he got a big fat check for being on this one because it sucks too. Lil Pump somehow sounds worse with auto-tune. The track Mosh Pit doesn't really feel as visceral as I think it wants to, though for sure it's more listenable than some tracks on this record. I just have a hard time imagining Mosh Pit coming about as a result of this awkward-ass groove and 8-bit synthesizers. Plus there's a bunch of weird lyrics on this track about like, you know, women or some girl in particular smelling bad, which I mean, like, just the sight of this cover smells bad. Like, clearly Pump has gone nose blind to his own bullshit on this thing. On the song Walk, we get another basic, low-budget beat that is just flat and dry as hell. No seasoning, no flavor, no soul, no nothing. Splurgin' is boring, and on the closing track, Swipe, even though I do like the features on the song, Pump decides, because of their African descent, he then needs to like mimic an accent of some sort and sound stupid and awkward doing it. It's cringe as hell. I mean, I get that he's very one-dimensional and maybe he's aware of that to some degree, but like you don't need to just like, you know, copy and paste the sound and flow and style of whoever the hell your guest is on a song. You can just do you. You can just be yourself. Yeah, this thing sucks ass. Sucks a whole lot of ass. And I think Lil Pump proves on this one what we already learned on Harvard Dropout, but now we're learning this lesson even harder this time around. And that is whatever youthful energy and sort of punchy, direct approach that he had on the debut Lil Pump tape, that is gone, and hearing him try to alter it or grow it or advance it in some way is just not working. And yeah, it's just still not working. And on top of that, as he attempts to do other things, things other than, you know, what he sort of broke on the scene doing, he tries and he fails utterly because he is just a really a one-trick pony who doesn't really have the capability to do anything else musically other than, you know, walk in there like a boss. Ooh, which, I mean, song's a banger. Song's cool. Like that track. But you know, attempting pretty much anything else outside that very narrow realm, it's not working. And the more Lil Pump raps and the more he tries to, I don't know, make observations and say funny stuff here and there, the more I think he exposes himself as just being a moron. This Pump tape is not good.